Hi everybody, it's Brandon.
And Josh.
And before we start today's episode, we just want to give a little plug. Give us a like.
Or subscribe to this channel.
And follow us on Instagram for all of your daily drama and art needs.
Woohoo, check back every week for more content from yours truly.
And hope you enjoy the episode.
Ciao.
Until we get another theme song, this'll have to do. These are your rules reviews.
With just 1 week until the grand finale, the season 11 queens are back with a vengeance as we flash back on this season's gaggiest gag.
I did not leave the wigs for you.
Didn't Rihanna slip into your DMs? Are you two still a couple? Shady as shenanigans.
Being shady doesn't make you awkward.
I don't trust you hoes.
And the most legendary looks.
This is art. This is genius.
Plus, never before seen footage that will leave you saying, yeah!
This is not a football game.
Fasten your seatbelts, because these queens are ready to let you, what? Have it!
Hey guys.
Hey everybody,
Welcome back.
it's your boys Brandon.
And Josh, hey. Ta-da.
So nice of you to finally join us.
Oh girl, you know I'd be sleeping until noon on these lovely Friday mornings.
Noon, you're being generous.
Am I? Nothing like getting up and starting on the whiskey.
Oh my god, cheers to this.
Spilling the tea today.
We've got our Arizona tea, our peach tea whiskey. We've got a little Lipton's and a little herbal blend if you want, because the girls are here to serve this tea piping lukewarm.
Yes, here's to the ladies who want.
Yeah, so it's the reunion. This is the episode everyone's like, okay, Untucked wasn't enough, but everyone's back in the same room. They're gonna go at it. Rue's gonna ask some questions to stir this shit.
Rue love to stir the shit. Oh girl.
And
it's stinky in there.
it's stinky and sticky and messy. It was a mess, but oddly enough, it was messy without being very interesting.
How was that possible?
It was
Sloppy and boring at the same time. Oh, I've dated a couple of those.
Oh gosh. So let's start right away. The reunion. Usually in the reunion, we kind of go down the line. First girl eliminated, we'll catch up with you. Order of elimination.
No, not this time.
No.
Let's get this thing started. Miss Banjee didn't make the top 4, but definitely made a big impression. Let's take a look.
Banjee.
We're like, everybody want to hear about Banjee, so. Which I don't get the obsession with Banjee. Banjee's alright.
She cool people.
She was good material to talk about all season. But, I don't know, she wasn't like my favorite. I wasn't devastated when she went home. I didn't even think she'd make it as far as she made it.
She shouldn't have.
Apparently fans get down on her.
In all reality, I love Banjee and I would watch her every day. We'll might go out tonight and see her somewhere in West Hollywood. But
I got a show tonight, guys. Come on down.
was that Banjee or Roz, the chain smoking factory woman?
Or Harvey Firestein. They're all the same person. They all sound alike.
Could be. Yeah, but Banjee, like, I would totally watch her, but if we're talking about what this show is asking you to do, be a character, be a fashion icon, you know,
Wear a onesie, wear a corset.
serve all these different things, Banjee
did it all.
didn't do any of it. If we're being quite honest, so we should get in hell.
I don't know. I disagree. I wouldn't take that much away from Banjee. Banjee was entertaining. She had personality. She served looks. She had a couple good looks.
Okay, so let's not do what the reunion did and focus all of our first 15 minutes on Banjee.
But apparently Banjee got new teeth. That's the tea right there.
What do you think is different?
Are your teeth new?
Is the camera on? Yes, Mama,
They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. And you know, there's a little filler, but you know, who doesn't? Who doesn't? That's just
That's like
cosplay.
saying, girl, did you tie your laces? Yes. Did you get a filler? Girl, good. It is like saying hello and goodbye. These days, that is the norm.
Yes, of course.
So if you ain't feeling, bitch, you ain't winning. So come on.
I don't know what the hell that meant. Were they busted before?
Can you see mine?
Yeah.
Oh, they...
Other than the little staining and yellowing, then nothing too bad.
You shady bitch. Shut. Yeah, so this opening package, we got to see Banjee from season 10 walk out. They ask her, how does it feel to come back?
She said, bitch, I've been sleeping in the parking lot the whole time.
She said, I leave. I've been on tour, I've been doing it all. And but they asked her, like, how did you feel not making it to the final 4? And she was like, you know, it was a little embarrassing. Or she later says maybe embarrassing is not the right word, but like a disappointing.
Do you think she made it to the top 5 because she fabricated this relationship with Brooklyn Heights?
Well, that was the question they wanted to get to next, because after we had 10 minutes of Banjee's journey, then instead of going to the other girls and giving people some screen time, they wanted to turn to this relationship.
Now, the world is dying to know, Are you two still a couple? No, we're not.
The whole first episode only focused on 4 people.
And the girls kind of were like, yeah, we did think it was fake at first. Nina was like, I knew before the show knew, and I even asked Brooke, hey, is this real?
I don't think it was a fake relationship. I think Brooklyn Heights used it as an opportunity because she knew that Banjee had a following and a fan base already and a name out there on the national scene. And she probably, maybe there was a little bit of traction. They probably bumped uglies one night in the hotel. But then I think Banjee started to fall for Brooklyn. And that's where it gets messy and kind of sad. The whole time they're talking about it, Banjee looks distraught and destroyed.
Yeah, I'm romantic at heart, and when it comes to stuff like that,
I love that about you.
I don't play it. And I wanted the Notebook experience, and I was getting a Post-it.
Okay.
And it's no tea. But, like, and it's okay. And that's why we're on good terms, because we recognized it early. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
We had different views.
But as she was talking about all that, she didn't address it to Banjee.
No, and there was no, like, human emotion. It was like, well, I mean, it was just like, It was so nonchalant that you could tell that Brooklyn was over it and probably didn't want anything to do with it to begin with.
I bet that's probably the question she's gotten asked so much since the show started airing.
I have a feeling they're in the workroom, or they're in the set, the very beginning of the show. They probably had some cocktails or whatever, and then they went back to that hotel room, had them little boozy eyes on. One of them was like this, and they
Reaching
did the
for
dirty
forever in
deed.
the dark.
And then the next day, it was just sort of picked up and continued as this fabrication.
Yeah, I was skeptical because I thought it was like a clout situation.
What do you mean, a cloud situation?
Like, Banjee is a personality, and so on the show, anything you attach with Banjee is also going to be a personality. And Brooke didn't have that strong point as far as having a personality. So it's like, let me grasp onto something to have a storyline.
So, well, but the most beautiful part was when Brooklyn said, I wasn't sure this was for me. I will never say never. I still love Banjee. Like, and it's clear that the love is still there between them.
A new VH1 dating show. Yes. I Love Brooklyn and Miss Banjee of Love.
Let me give him a hug.
Oh, you guys are so sweet.
And this ain't fake, mother. Zoom in and zoom out.
And so maybe Banjee could be something in the future once maybe they'll get on the season 11 tour together and reconnect.
Even at the season finale taping, Banjee was the first one up to cheer for Brooklyn every time she was out. So
yeah, the love is there. So Banjee stands. Stay tuned. We finished a thing with Banjee, and then now's the part where we gotta somehow get into all the other tea that no one cares about.
Right.
Like,
we did have 2 villains this episode, though.
Yes.
This season.
Yes. Miss Raja.
Raja was a total villain, and the editors made her look bad, and everybody got this hatred for Raja on social media and whatever.
They came at Raja because Raja had a thing where she would talk down to the other girls.
The queen who put the tea in salt tea. Ooh, child. Raja O'Hara. Take a look.
If you have enough balls to tell Ru, then tell Sophie to her goddamn face.
Wait. I'm not liking that energy at all. But that's so nice.
Girl, you better put your own self on it. You better focus on this goddamn challenge.
Oh, I'm focused, boo.
Your makeup says otherwise. Girl.
An ugly girl can never come for a pretty girl. No, it's an ugly bitch like you crawling out of the swamp. To come for me? Girl, I'm over it.
But when are you going to apply that to the challenges? Because that's what's going to keep you out of the bottom.
Now, I will tell you this. Don't try me right now.
That's not trying you, girl.
No,
That's being
no.
honest. That's the tea, girl. You better take that tone back down.
How dare you? You, first and foremost, are not sickening at all. You are literally wearing trash. I'm not gagging. I mean, I'm gagging from, like, the smell. It's like, bitch, do you bathe?
And Raja would be saying this stuff in confessionals and the testimonials afterwards behind the girls' backs. So they didn't even know that Raja was a snake in the grass talking shit until these episodes start airing. And they're
they kind of did, because there was that fight in the workroom where Evie was like, no, you need to take that shit all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, that was the point. That was like the point of like Evie and Silky and them, those girls with big personalities and loud mouths and ain't afraid to read a bitch if they need to. They will say it right to their face. They never keep secrets. But I can imagine like how it would feel if you were on a show like that and you have these private side confessionals and then you get this bitch like slandering your name and throwing you under the bus left and right and stabbing you in the back and you didn't even know.
We see it the first Fifi O'Hara. We saw it from her. Who are some of our other top villains?
I don't know, but the other villain that arose from this season that was sort of surprising to me was Scarlett Envy.
So, Scarlett, were you shocked by what the other queen said about you?
Well, I would say surprised.
Well, I heard that Brooklyn said something at a viewing party that ruffled your feathers. What was it?
I think she said that the entire cast, I think she actually used the word hate, hated me.
Really?
Well, that's what was said, yeah.
Is that what was said? Mm-hmm. Did the whole cast hate her?
I personally did not enjoy Scarlett on the show. You came across very cocky and very arrogant, and you were constantly trying to kind of just one-up. There was always little comments. I don't know if it was a game you were playing or whatever, but in all truth, like, I wasn't sad to see you go when you went because on the show, I didn't care for you too much, and I felt like we didn't get along. And I know a lot of the other girls felt the same way as I did, but that was not my place to speak for them.
Who else felt that way? Anybody? Oh, Raja, big surprise.
Yeah, the girls
hated. I should say hated.
Well, Brooklyn Heights said hated at a Roscoe's viewing party, and that caused some drama.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really odd. It almost reminded me of Cameron Michaels from season 10, where we all thought Cameron was just the quiet one, but then all the girls were like, you don't give two shits about you're stuck up. We don't. And they flipped on her. Yeah. Or Valentina.
Yeah.
We didn't know the drama about Valentina until the reunion.
Well, it just goes to show that, like, the editors will fix things that they think is good TV. Mm-hmm. So if it's not dramatic enough, or it's just like a collective annoyance by people, they're like, that doesn't sell. You know, we need to have something that's more dramatic, or a big fight, or you could just, even if it's only two people, that's how people like Mercedes Iman Diamond get washed away and get unnoticed. By the way, I think Mercedes and Kahana and HENNY were at this reunion.
Were they?
They each got about 7 words apiece. And I think the camera hit them twice.
Yeah. So this is so odd that on a reunion special, we still have girls not getting screen time. Sugar didn't
By
get
the way,
screen time.
Mercedes was in the front row. And I didn't even notice that was Mercedes because she was just such wallpaper until we get to have a little conversation.
We needed to have a talk about opulence. And let's talk about opulence. Since we're here, let's talk about opulence. She earned everything.
But what I really want to know is how many times a day do you come across people who scream, opulence! I earn everything!
Opulence! You earn everything!
And the follow-up to that is touch this skin, honey. Kahana did her part, but no one remembers that Kahana's was a part of opulence.
Opulence.
And so Mercedes' little segment. They talked to Mercedes about being the first Muslim queen, how hard it is. You know, that's a religion that is very non-accepting of homosexuality and drag and all of that. So they ask her, like, have you come out? How are things? She's like, well, I have my 2 sisters that are here. They know, they're into it, but all my people back home know it's hard.
I don't think she said they're into it. I think she.
They asked her who's her support. Yeah, and who's her support.
But she didn't seem to, like, I don't know. It seemed very sad. It seemed like she didn't have a support system. It seemed like she obviously can't tell her parents or her family in where's she from?
I think Senegal.
Yeah. And the sisters, okay, so that's good. But I think she didn't tell the sisters until recently.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. But like, whatever. So either she has her sisters or she has no one. So it was a very touching moment, and she gets up. But then they want to bring up the beef with Kahana. Apparently, in their lip sync, as it was airing, Mercedes wins their lip sync to Work Bitch, and she posts on Instagram a shot of the lip sync and says, Shantae, you stay, meaning she's staying. And Kahana got upset that she would reveal that before it actually aired on television, and she thought that was insensitive, and Mercedes is like,
who cares?
Like, you know what I meant. And in fact, I took it down.
I'm surprised the producers didn't flag it to take it down.
Girl, all my copyright claims. So if you're seeing some episodes a little late, it's actually not me. I gotta wait 48 hours to put in the lip syncs and the songs and all that I want to include for y'all. So it's worth the wait, but just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
This is messy for no reason.
I guess you need that moment. Mercedes had that moment of, like, sadness where it's like, you need that. Maybe she could win Miss Congeniality. You won't know until next week.
Oh, speaking of Miss Congeniality, I'm gonna congenially take this off now because it is time, and I'm going to show my face on the camera.
Ah, thank you, Valentina. No, you may not leave it on.
I did get my telenovela ending, though.
Girl, this bitch.
So, I know we're jumping around. We're out of order because this whole reunion felt out of order.
Right.
So then the girls also want to talk about the wigs. The wigs.
Fucking wig situation.
Ariel.
First of all, I think Ariel's wigs always look a mess. I think out of this entire reunion, Ariel had the worst looking wig. And I'm like, she's making these wigs and people want them? All right, to each their own, whatever. That's the tea. But who am I? I'm just a viewer, so.
I mean, in the words of Rashid Dionne Warwick from Got to Be Real.
Bitch, get your wig game up.
So they want to re-talk about the wigs. That was the big blow-off in Untucked. So the whole situation was Ariel left. She was packing up, and apparently she left a whole bunch of wigs. She only meant for one to go to Silky, but they ended up on Plastique's station. Plastique took them all and told the girls in Untucked, yeah, she left them for me because we were the closest. The girls
But she didn't, but then she lied about it on social media. And said
right.
she
On
did.
Twitter, they pulled up the tweet receipt.
Now, Ariel, why did you tell the girls that you left the wigs by mistake when you tweeted that you left them for Plastique?
The receipts are in.
They bring in a receipt.
All right, come up with it. I saw that Plastique was under the impression that the wigs were for her. My ass knew that I left them by mistake, okay? I totally left them by mistake. And I'm gonna tell you, I did not leave the wigs for you. Now, when I saw you guys coming at her throat about the situation, I didn't want to dig her into a bigger hole than she was already in.
Did you clarify when did you not want to dig her into a deep hole? Are you saying when you came back or when you was on Twitter?
When I was home and I saw it happening.
So you skipped over when you was there. Okay, now just clarify.
She said she left them for Plastique, so what? So what is it? What is it, Miss Ariel? What is it? Who did you leave the wig for? And then when she came back for the makeover challenge, they kind of talked about it then, and someone was like, apparently it came down to there was one purple one that she really, really was like, I need that one back. And conveniently, that was the one that Miss Raja had at home. And so,
Raja, did you take one of her wigs?
There was one of her wigs that made it in my suitcase.
Hey, that way you get the gruesome little legs, walked over, unlocked the bag, and jumped in.
But do you know what I appreciate about Raja through all this drama?
But bitch, guess what?
Oh, no way.
Oh, no. And then a couple of games with it on, too.
No.
Oh my God, I have it. Girl. Let's move on.
Okay, beef squash.
That's where the black came out. She's like,
here, take your funky ass wig back, causing all this shit.
Right at your feet.
So Wiggate was solved. And then do you know who I was actually most surprised with this whole reunion? Who? Silky. Nah, man. Ganache. PhD. Esquire.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a PhD. Didn't she say she was going to go and get her doctorate?
No, she said whatever. Okay, look.
Anyways,
the show decided she's a doctor. Okay?
Right.
Honorary.
I don't know how Silky was able to keep her mouth shut. I've never heard her that quiet.
Whoa, girl, right? Silky. Speaking of which, Silky barely got any screen time while being in the top 4.
Exactly. That was weird.
I think this is showing that this show is very much still produced up until the last minute.
Yeah.
They have heard what the fans have said. They know the fans feel like Silky got rammed down their throat and was too much. And people, I don't know, I've seen so many Instagram posts or Twitter posts like, does anyone really like Silky? And so many people chiming in, no. I'm gonna say this. I stand Silky Nutmeg Ganache. I stand her from moment one when she came out that Meet the Queens. It was the best part. And I saw a lot of people say that they loved her then, but once the show started, they didn't like her. You can't have it both ways. You can't have her love her being loud on a boring show, but when we got everybody together and be mad that she's still that same person,
Come on now. But those bitches are not original, so. That's why I call it the bandwagon. It's like when you don't have your own personality and you jump on it because everybody's doing it. So I applaud you for staying on Team Silky through the thick and thin.
And here's the other thing. RuPaul's Team Silky. Because you have to remember, this is a show that caters to a wider audience, but RuPaul is still a person that has the right to like whoever, whatever he likes. And RuPaul is from Louisiana. Black from Louisiana. His mama, Ernestine, had a mouth like a trucker and was black and popping all that. So Silky reminds him of home. And Silky reminds me of home. My aunt, my aunt's in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
How good would Silky be at that Spades table?
Oh, yeah, they would love Miss Silky.
Thank you. Okay, so that's why some of us do genuinely like Silky. Yes. And the producers toned her down.
But let's do that look. Hello, Music Man meets Rockettes.
Okay, let's get into the looks. Let's talk about the looks.
That was cute.
Since we don't really get to see them, in the reunion. I'll put some up as we talk about them. Let's go. All right.
First of all, today was the day of eyelashes. I don't know if they always wear these huge, beautiful lashes and you just can't see them because they don't get close enough. But I was tooting about 4 different people's lashes today.
Heels. We don't do that. Yuha. If you haven't seen Yuha explain the cease and desist letter, that's the tea. That's the tea. Check that out next. So we gonna get heels and Crocs here because we not coming for that.
Heels and Crocs.
First look, first girl eliminated, Miss Soju. What did you think about Soju?
Croc. Oh, girl.
Soju's look was a croc?
Yeah, Soju. Like, she had some shoulder pad things going on. It just looked like a plastic bag that she got into to show up. She had a blonde wig, and it was just like,
I liked it. I will give Miss Soju a heel.
Okay.
I thought this was very sleek for her. I thought that the blonde actually looked nice on her.
Yeah.
Not too many Asian people can rock a blonde, so she did.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Miss Kahana Montrese's look.
Kahana, even though she only got 7 words in, the look was there. Big shoulder pads, sort of, I thought it was a butterfly on the side of her head, but once you see the look, you see that it is more like a bat, and it's very...
Like spider webbing on the round
Yeah.
legs. Yeah, this was really cool. I wish there was a moment on the show where they would like have the girls walk the runway, like in the opening title sequence. We saw pictures of the girls. Why couldn't we just have them walking with their looks?
Right.
So because they spend a lot of time getting together for this reunion.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna say that I wish Kahana would wear this look to the season finale instead of the look that she wore.
when you see Kahana's look for the finale, you'll kind of wish she wore this. You're absolutely right.
My girl, Honey Davenport.
Oh, she's your girl now. Okay, I'll let Plastique know.
Oh no, I've always liked Honey. I told you I liked Honey in the beginning, and I did give her a big compliment too in her final look. So we'll see that. But today she was
It's finale look.
Yeah, it was the best. Her and Plastique get my top looks for the finale, but more to come. Yeah, her look today was really nice too because I love this honeybee thing where she does the black and the gold and it's very sequined and patterned.
Yeah.
She's got the blonde wig with like the what do you call it? It's like a spider web kind of thing that goes through it, and it looked great. I give that a heel for sure.
Heel. Good heel. Next, we had Mercedes Iman Diamond. And she was giving like a tribute to the 80s. She had like the Delta Burke hair, and she had some big Texas shoulder pads. I was confused at why she went with this. She could have brought, I'm a Muslim queen. She could have brought that. Or she's pretty hood. Actually, she could have brought her hood girl side, looking like my cousin Chantel.
Right.
Thank you.
I didn't even notice Mercedes until, like I said before, that little segment where they're talking about her. I didn't know she was in the front row. I was like, Mercedes didn't come back. And Brandon's like, she's there. No, you didn't even know where she was. You're just like, I saw her. Anyway, the look did not help her to get noticed amidst these queens. I give it a crock.
Mercedes, sorry, crock, baby. But you turned it out at the finale. I'm going to say that. You turned it out. Next, we had Miss Ariella Versace.
Yes, this big bright pink cotton candy wig that's when I realized, like, I don't like Ariella's wigs. Well, that's not when I realized it.
I don't mind her wigs, and I get that she has a business. Always wear your own stuff. But Ariella, you show us some of the ones that are neutral. Show us some of the ones that I can wear on Booze Reviews. Because I would wear that on Booze Reviews. But show me some daytime fish. We've seen the cotton candy. So I would love to see something else. But other than that, I'm on the fence about this, so I might give this a wedge.
Okay.
Because I like what she was going for with the look. I think that the wig is somewhere else.
Okay, I'll wedge it too. Let's just go in. Let's go a little out of order because the wigs that I'm really digging is like this Japanimation Betty Boop style plaster couture, like what do you call it when it's like almost paper mache, like Nina West's wigs?
I don't know, but yeah, okay.
It's like the very Betty Boop kind of like. There's no hair out of place. It's just sort of the plastic thing with the
sculpted. Like,
yeah.
You can sculpt it. Yeah, you can sculpt it and make it look very harder. Yeah.
I don't know why I love that look so much, but I especially love it on Nina because she has a little bit bigger face. She's got and so her look today was really cute. Although I'm not digging the monkeys. I'm not sure what.
You didn't see them on the episode.
You did. You saw them behind, like popping around.
I guess. I don't know what this was. And I want to. That's the thing. That's what I'm mad about. I want to know what these monkeys were about. Yeah. Nina West, you are so fun. You, the only girl that got us special. We love you at the end of our episode. We ride or die Nina West. Love the albums. What was this look?
I liked it.
It was like Carmen San Diego meets.
No, because she had the
something.
red pleather jacket with the collar popped.
Carmen.
So it made it look like kind of 50s, like, I don't know, like, I had the Betty Boop thing, but it was like kind of greaser, like tough bitch too. I liked it. I give it a heel.
Heel?
Just one heel though.
Croc.
Oh,
Mina, I just expect so much more from you.
Crocked.
So much more from you, Mina. Sorry, Croc. Jumping back in order for that little detour west, we have Miss Scarlett Envy giving us the actual color of envy, green.
Actually, I take back what I said earlier. There was one wig on the show worse than, and that was Scarlett's.
You did not like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't like her makeup. I didn't like the wig. I was like, just an all-around crock.
Oh, okay. Are you with Michelle Visage? Not a fan of green?
I like green. I like aqua, which was sort of more like what it was. It had some hints of blue in it.
This was actually, okay, we must have been looking. It's okay to have difference of opinions, but I felt like this was actually closer to the yellow side of green. It's more of a citron to me. And I liked it because her name is Scarlett Envy. She usually plays on the first part, which is the red. But this time she went with the envy.
Green.
She went green, and I liked it. Plus, her tits have never looked better. God, her tits were to die for. To die for.
Maybe she bought Michelle's.
They were on sale.
You have to pry them out of Ross's dead hand.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a heel, especially for that horrible Ross Matthews impersonation. You deserve. I'm gonna go against you.
I'm getting a heel or I'm getting a crock?
Both.
Okay.
Then we had the villain of the season, Miss Rasha O'Hara.
Oh, and she looked like a villain today too. She looked like a Disney. It looked like if the next Disney featured film that gets another black princess is gonna have Raj as the villain.
Oh, they gave us one. They're not gonna give us another one. Sorry, Tiana.
It took us 80 years to get
This tea is so hot. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Amel.
Zippity. Oh, not too soon.
Yeah, whatever. So, Miss Raja's look was giving me frankly, a little Patti LaBelle. I could see Jasmine Masters wearing this.
That wig, yeah.
This short pussycat wig with a pantsuit.
Yeah.
Raja love a pantsuit.
She does. I call her the Carly Hughes. If you don't know who she is, look her up. Hit her up on Instagram. She's in some shows. I don't know. I don't watch her shows, but she's a nice girl.
So what are we giving Miss Raja?
I'll give it a heel.
Yeah.
One heel.
Two
heels. Oh, he loved it.
Heels.
Now we get into the princess dynasty of the mostess.
Plastique Tiara.
I love how Plastique is really diving into these Asian looks and things like that, which is kind of a slap to the face to be like, oh, you just use this Asian stereotype, this and that, and you go to that voice or whatever. And it's like, every time she did it, I laughed. I thought it was funny. But I'm like, embrace your culture. And there's so many different cultures that are like blanket Asian. Ooh, better slow down. That it's you can turn out different Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Indian.
There's a difference.
There's so hugely different cultures. And I love this. She had this big sun thing with the hair built in, and it looked like it was sort of like a Japanese embroidered top that was sewn into a dress that was gorgeous. She's just embracing and growing, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give this a heel. I think Plastique handles herself. I will say that she handles herself very lovely and eloquent, and that even when people, she even said that in her drama moment.
During that moment, a lot of people asked me why I didn't snap back, because when I looked into your eyes, I could see it wasn't about me.
Hurt people. So I'm sorry that I hurt you, sister. I truly love you.
And I think that we could use a lot more of that in the world. Like, don't take it personal. And also, know that those attacks usually are coming from somewhere inside of that person. So maybe understand that a little better.
No, that was a beautiful sentiment. And
but she did call out my girl Akira.
And how she handled it was all on her.
But watching it back, you instigated every single problem that I had.
And the producers had the receipts ready. Akira was the one that said...
I gotta take a drink of that tea.
Akira was the one that ran and told all the girls, hey, her story ain't adding up. Hey, her boyfriend said this, hey that, gassing Raja up. And all of a sudden, Raja coming out of her neck at Plastic because of what Akira had said. So, I mean, Miss Akira, I love you, but baby, you ain't all as innocent as you want us to think.
But let's talk about Akira's look. This was kind of elegant and avant-garde-ish. I love the fact that it was all blue and the feathers. It just, I don't know, it looks sleek. It looks different. It looks sort of like outside of her norm.
I wouldn't say it was outside of her norm. I felt like this was very much still within the pageant realm. But I will say Akira looks good. Even when the one time she was in the bottom, well, technically she was, I don't know what they're counting that six-way lip sync, because some of the girls were salty. It was like, no, bitch, you were in the bottom with me on that six-way. And the other girls were like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've only been in the bottom once.
I mean, some people are too embarrassed to count their six-way.
Not you. But the one time she was in the bottom was a design challenge. And like I said, I still don't even think that was a horribly bad look. Somebody had to be down there so we could send Raja home.
That's right. Well played, sir.
So Akira looks stunning, but very much pageant. Akira, push me somewhere else. Take me somewhere else. I love you, girl. But I'm going with you. But take me somewhere else.
I give it a heel.
Heel.
Let's jump to Banjee.
Banjee's look.
Banjee's look was basic. It wasn't anything special. It was sort of like this 80s over top, like crop top shirt thing.
Yeah, she was reminding me of a lot of the girls I went to middle school out here in the valley with.
Saved by the Bell?
Not. How old are you?
Saved by the Bell.
I was in middle school I was still in middle school by the turn of the millennium. Were you?
Girl. I was in elementary school then.
So maybe not Saved by the Bell, but she was giving me a high late 90s Spice Girls top pony with a chola waterfall down, and she had her chola eyebrows on.
Yep.
And she was giving me a fly girl backup dancer.
Yeah. She was giving me a good solid wedge.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm agree. I'm gonna wedge it because if we're talking about it as a gag-worthy look, no. But if we're talking about,
but Banjee knew she didn't have to turn out a gag-worthy look because they were gonna talk about her half the episode anyway. So
well, yeah. Why? And see, that's the other thing. Some girls go all out for the reunion. Why? To me, why? We've seen it.
I mean, I guess it's another opportunity to turn a look and show what you can do.
I mean, this is what we decided on because we couldn't even be bothered to get dressed.
Hell no.
I woke up like this.
She did.
Let's talk about Sugar Cane's look.
Oh, I love Sugar Cane's look in this.
Let's not forget Sugar Cane because the producers obviously did.
Yes. Sugar had a good season. Sugar was one of my favorites, actually, looking back on it now.
Yeah.
Her personality, like, especially in the workroom, she was very boring. Like, every time I'd see her talk as a boy, I'm like, But, like, she could turn a look, and she was beautiful. Like, she always looked good. Her face always looked good. Her fashion sense was good. It wasn't always the best of the best, but it wasn't, I never thought she was, like, really bad.
Oh, Sugar got top highest heel of the week for me several times. Her Native American look.
Yeah, the turquoise.
Her Aztec look. That purple eggplant dress is probably in the top 5 best gowns I've ever seen on the show.
How about that? Did she make it? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Manila Luzon didn't make that gray dress she wore in All Stars 4, but that's in the top 5.
But she still rocked it.
Stoned armpits and everything.
Yeah, no, it was, Sugar looked great. She had this, I don't know, what do you call it, like a Norman Desmond, Sunset Boulevard kind of.
It reminded me of Isabella Rossellini in Death Becomes Her. And I wonder if that's what she was going for. Because Suga now has her own, she has a YouTube channel. Check it out, it's called Suga in the Raw. But she's embracing more of her gypsy, so she does tarot readings on there and crystal balls. And so she's into that. So I bet that maybe might have been a nod to that.
That's a cute name, I like it. It's like those little brown packets of sugar.
Suga in the Raw. Well, all the girls have a show now.
Yeah.
You got to get out there now.
You got to get away.
Who else do we need to talk about?
Well, we didn't mention Evie.
Well, yeah, let's go into the top 4. Okay, Evie Oddly.
It's quirky, gimmicky. Yeah, it was the green cucumber face.
So I saw this and I was like, shit. Because this whole time I thought about what would we do for the reunion, and I had this concept of
pajamas.
Bananas and
pajamas, and I'm still wearing mine.
And Evie shows up in this look, and I'm like, this bitch pre-stole my look.
Pre-stole.
It looked good.
It did slow done though. Yeah, she had the tribute to the rubber ducky earrings, and up in her
little bubbles in the head wrap.
That was cute.
It was.
This girl knows how to turn a look. I would love to see a show with Evie Oddly and Sasha Velour together. Oh, I bet it would just be like, let's see who can outdo with the gimmick and the props.
Yeah, well, maybe not Sasha Velour, but tonight at Queen Kong, it's Evie and Nina West, plus some of the Bitch Pudding, season 2 winner of Dragula, Vander Von Odd will be a season 1 winner. Yes.
They're all there.
So the freak flags are flying tonight.
They're all here for DragCon.
Yep, get your tickets. See us there. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Yeah, heel for Evie.
Yeah, 2 heels.
Then we had Silky Nutmeg Ganache. We talked about her, but let's talk about this look.
Yeah.
So Silky was
76 trombones, baby. Come on.
She was giving major tease, and I wonder, does she actually twirl?
Yeah, she twirled on the show.
Yeah, in the Drag Olympics,
Yeah.
she did a little. Okay.
I mean, it was the most unimpressive thing. I think I could learn to do what she did in about 10 minutes.
Then do it, bitch. Then do right now. Clip.
Give me the time, girl.
Put in the clip.
You keep forgetting I was in Winter Garden Color Guard.
Baby Silky was too, but that's what she brought. You so confident that you gonna bring more than that.
Give me that baton.
Okay, let's find
I'm
a clip.
coming for you, Silky.
If there's no clip here, that means he wouldn't rise to the challenge.
Oh.
But this look, I liked it. It's literal. It's an exact costume. It's a drag version, it's a sparkly version of something else.
Yes.
Can't be mad at it.
And she had them eyelashes that I was complimenting.
Heel. So last but not least, we had Miss Brooklyn Heights. And Brooklyn was giving a weird mixture of Carmen Miranda, Norma Desmond, Vita Boheme, which was Patrick Swayze and Tu Wong Fu, and a supervillain. And with a big H earring.
With the big H earrings, that's what I loved.
I
love
really,
the hat too.
I really love this. This was actually well done. I'm very much a fan of that 50s
that look, yeah.
Old Hollywood turban on a woman.
Yeah. That does look so sleek. Remember when they used to wear the headdress all the time and the scarf, like Miss Maisel?
Oh, shout out to Miss Maisel. Yeah. And Ira Gutberg, he was there. So, heel for Brooklyn.
Heels. You get 3 heels on that look.
And as a final wrap up, we always have to give our top marks of the week. So who was your highest heel?
I mean, it was hard to say, but I think it was a tie this week. And I'm going to throw a bone to one of the originals that got cut out early. I really loved Plastique's look, but I also really loved Kahana's look.
Ooh, Kahana Montrese.
That girl
is getting... Kahana Montrese is getting a highest heel.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my highest heel has to go to Miss Evie Oddly, because bitch, you had me in mind. We were on the same wavelength, and I love the way you did it. That fresh, even in her picture for this look, I just got out of the shower. I didn't know we were filming today. Girl, live, work, Evie. So that's the reunion. It wasn't as dramatic because they were dramatic through the season. There was nothing left.
Nothing left. So
there's overall, nothing left to my cup either.
RuPaul's Drag Race, may the best bitch win.
We'll see you next week to find out who's taking that crown.
Who's taking it? Bye, Sicko.
Don't be a loser. Are you a winner?